Order at 6 o'clock.
6:30.
I'm sorry, 6:30. Roll call, Sancy.
Robin Barker is absent. Cheryl Bigelow is absent. Judy Borey.
Here.
Barbara Fitzgerald.
Here.
Catherine Meek.
Here.
Nola Perkins.
Here.
And Vera Walters is absent, and we have a quorum.
The acceptance of the agenda. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Sancy.
Robin Barker's absent. Cheryl Bigelow absent. Judy Borey.
Yes.
Barbara Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Catherine Meek.
Yes.
Nola Perkins.
Yes.
And Vera Walters is absent. Motion passes.
Okay, and then the acceptance of minutes for the March 13th, 2025 regular meeting.
So
Excuse
moved.
me. Thank you.
Second.
And roll call, please, Sancy.
Robin Barker absent. Cheryl Bigelow is absent. Judy Borey.
Yes.
Barbara Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Catherine Meek.
Yes.
Nola Perkins.
Yes.
And Vera Walters is absent. Motion passes.
And we have no call to the public. So we'll go right into our correspondence and communications.
And there's no correspondence and communications tonight.
Okay, then we're down to our librarian's report, Pam.
Okay, thanks so much. Pam Harrison, Library Director, and our librarian's report for tonight, May 8th, 2025. Started with our monthly reports for March and April. One glaring discrepancy you may have noticed is the patron visits for April is about half of what it was last month. And that is not an accurate representation of our visits. What happened is our gate count machine went down. So it is now fixed, but we don't have an accurate number for that. So we're just going to leave it at the number that we were able to record. Otherwise, most of our stats are pretty consistent. Books was down a little bit over March. Our programs were still really strong, still doing about 120 programs inside the library and 70 plus outside the library for our outreach. There was a grand total attendance for March programs that was 4727, which is a lot bigger than the other, than April, and that was because of the Flute Circle or the Flute Festival, where they estimated that the attendance was in the 1,200 range.
That's great.
And here we have three of our wonderful library staff. We have Megan Carbiner on the left. She is our outreach supervisor. We have Stephanie Opplinger, who is a senior library assistant in the youth department. And we have Megan Sparks, who's a senior library assistant in the adult services department. They were chosen last year to do a, excuse me, to do a presentation at the Arizona Library Association conference. And it was very well received, and there were other presentations as well that were very popular, and not everybody got to go to all the ones they wanted to go to. So they were selected to do a special webinar on their presentation, which was called Young Adult to Forever Young, Mastering the Intergenerational Program. And so what intergenerational means is that as a library, we're pretty good at attracting and engaging all ages of people and intermingling them in programs together. So we have like open mic nights, music bingo, trivia nights, craft nights, book clubs. So that was what their presentation was about. They had 133 people register for the webinar, 45 watched it live. It is available as a recording at this point. I just looked it up, did a Google search, and it's on YouTube. So if you want to go ahead and watch it, you can do that. It's about an hour long. They got some really great feedback from the people that did attend the webinar. They said that the Apache Junction Library team did a wonderful job. There was great collaboration between the presenters, and they were super articulate, accessible, and inspiring. They were very positive, upbeat, and encouraging, and they invited the audience to interact with our own ideas to feel part of the conversation. It was like having a conversation with colleagues. And that was just a few of the accolades for them. So, yeah, they've, I think this is the second year that they've done a presentation for AZLA. I've done a presentation once for AZLA probably like 20 years ago, and I was like, oh, I'm good. But they just keep applying, and they keep getting accepted. So they have some really good content, and they're great staff. So congrats to them. This was a bookmark competition of the third year that we've been doing this at the library. We always do it in March, leading up to National Library Week in the beginning of April. And the theme for this year was Drawn to the Library, which was the National Library Week theme. And so Megan Robles in the youth department, this is her baby, and she's got 3 different age groups. This year she was super excited. She had over 40 people submit a bookmark for the competition in all the age ranges. And they had winners for first, second, and third place, and an honorable mention. All winning entries were printed and available for everyone to pick up during National Library Week, and first, second, and third place winners received a gift card to Walmart. And additionally, we printed the winning artwork on metal bookmarks using the Cricut machine. And I didn't get to see those, but I heard that they were really cool. So she's going to keep doing this competition. She had a really hard time choosing the winners this year because there were so many good ones. But I wish I knew which ones was which age group. But she said this was just a random representation of the submissions.
They're beautiful.
Yeah,
they
they're
really
really
did a
cute.
nice job.
One of the intergenerational programs that happened in April was custom air fresheners. I think they actually called it, I got to look at it now because it was kind of cute. It was Turn Your Art into an Air Freshener. So I was like, what is that about? So participants got to create custom air fresheners by drawing or coloring in images, and then they were transferred to the fresheners. And they did this through sublimation that were customized by coloring them in with sublimation markers. And then they get heat pressed to infuse the ink into the fabric so it doesn't smear or wash out. So as you can see, this cute little girl is just enamored by this. It looks like she might have done a cat for her air freshener. So did any of you get to go to that program?
No.
No? Okay. So that was a new one for us. I think it had quite a good amount of people attend. LibraryCon number 12, I talked about that in March. So that did take place March 20th, I believe it was. There were approximately 500 people in attendance, and they got to experience costumes, comics, pop culture, and lots of fun activities. So yeah, next year will be Lucky 13.
Wow.
We'll see what that brings, but I don't know what this big blue thing is back here, but it looks like they had a lot of fun. There's something green walking around. Preschool egg hunt, we've been doing this now. We did this when I was in the youth services department, so probably going on 10 years here pretty soon. We buy like 1,000 eggs, maybe 1,200, scatter them in the park next to the library, and let the kids go out there and collect eggs. And we learned from the first year that we tried to give them a number to strive for, so that you don't have some kids getting 30 and others getting like 3. So we try to give them a number based on a rough estimate of how many people are there. And then there's usually an activity afterwards inside the library. And for the last couple of years, we've had Pip the mini donkey attend, and as you can see, she is a highlight for the event. And there were about 250 participants this year at the egg hunt with beautiful weather. And we are gearing up for our biggest program of the year, which is our summer reading program. This year it will run from May 24th to July 12th. The last week of that is the book fair from Scholastic Book Fairs, where those that finish the program and read 1,000 minutes, or if it's for children ages up to 5, I believe it's 50 books, they get a free book from the book fair. They have tons of activities. There's just way too many to go over at this point, but I will give a shout out to some of the sponsors that have offered prizes for our readers this year. We have Sonic, Texas Roadhouse, Panda Express, Raising Cane's, and Culver's. And this is for all age groups, not just for kids. We have an adult program, we have a teen program. We encourage the parents to read along with their kids, to set a good model, be a good role model. And yeah, it's wildly popular. We have a lot of teen volunteers that help in distributing the prizes because our regular staff are so busy doing programs and their regular job duties. So it's a lot of fun, and we hope you guys will sign up. It is on Beanstack again this year, which is an app or a website where you can track your reading. And before we know it, it will be summer. There's a couple kickoff events taking place. The first one is Color Your Summer Party, is on May 29th from 12 to 2. This is for families, and they'll enjoy face painting, balloon animals, crafts, and a community art project. We have special guests, the Parks and Rec Department and the Apache Junction Police Department coming to join us. And then we also are doing our first ever summer reading kickoff for adults and teenagers. And this is going to take place at the Page Artists Gallery Studio on, I didn't write the date down, it's at the end of May though, from 5 to 7. Their studio is located at 300 West Apache Trail. They're going to have some mocktails and delicious little bites and prize drawings, and have a curated selection of books amidst the stunning artwork that you can check out at the gallery. So we're hoping people will join us there and have a... What date was that, did you say? You know what? When I copied and pasted, I took off the date, but it's in May. Maybe you can look it up on your phone.
Is it the 30th or?
She'll find it.
Okay.
If you put in probably summer reading Page Artists Gallery, it'll probably show up.
Reading artist, you said?
Yes.
And is that over by the treasure box out, or the antique store?
Yes.
It's in that complex there?
Yep, it's in there.
Okay.
300 West Apache Trail, Suite 106A.
106A.
Reading artist is not working.
Oh, Page, Paige is the name of the art studio. You know what you can do? You can go to our website, go to the printable calendar, and you can see it on the bottom of the calendar. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
That's what happens when you don't proofread. But I know it's after the 29th. It's probably the 30th.
It is the 29th, Color Your Summer Kickoff Party, all ages. Oh, that's noon to,
Yeah, that's
You found it
the,
already?
that's the other one.
that's the other one.
It's not showing up on the calendar. Oh, Page and Palette. I can't read apparently.
Oh,
That is Friday the 30th.
30th.
May 30th? Okay, sorry. Page and Palette, that's what it was. I didn't get the full name in there. I just read Summer Reading Kickoff for Adults.
Yeah, I'm still.
You're still, okay. Thank you, Catherine. May 30th, 5 to 7.
My phone answered me when I asked.
One of you last meeting asked about, can we have coffee with a cop at the library again? Do you remember that? It was Miss Vera. So we are making her dreams come true. We're going to have a coffee with a cop at the library on Wednesday, June 11th, and Wednesday, November 12th from 9 to 10. And Megan Carbiner helped us set that up with Raina over at the police department. So we hope a lot of people will come out and ask some questions and just relax. And it'll be the middle of summer reading, June 11th, so there'll be a lot of activity to watch. Library facility maintenance updates. This is probably the busiest year we've had for facility upgrades and renovations in the library's history, if I had to guess. We already had our bathrooms renovated, as you know. We have a couple really big things happening in the near future. Next weekend, Friday, May 16th, and Saturday, May 17th, we will be closed all day because the library is going to be closed for an SES upgrade. It's a service entrance section. It has to do with our electrical system is basically what I know. And if it goes out, we would not have electricity for a really long time. And ours is 40 years old, so it's time to replace it. So that is when it is scheduled to take effect. We also have coming up after that, actually it's starting next week, is replacement of our main fire alarm panel, and that's the central hub of the fire alarm system. So they're gonna be there doing all of that, and that takes about a week for them to complete. So that won't affect our opening or closing hours. We'll be open throughout that process. And then we also have our lighting project coming up. Our Goldfield room is gonna get all new upgraded lighting that is identical to the lighting in the youth area. So it'll both project up and down, which will really help with some of the dark spots and spaces in that area. So it'll be the Goldfield room, which is where our DVDs and our adult nonfiction is, and then also into our program room, the Opal room at the back. So we will be open through all of that. We'll just, luckily our shelves are on wheels, and now we can kind of move stuff around to make things accessible, so we don't have to close off the whole area. So, and of course, all this is happening while summer reading is starting. So yeah, it's going to be a little nutso, but we'll be good. We're just really happy that we're getting these things done and being proactive. And a big shout out to Public Works Department for organizing all this on our behalf, because we couldn't do it without them. And I don't have a slide on this, but at the last meeting there was a question about whether the winter lecture series videos could be recorded as they were happening live, and we checked with the program manager, and they said that no, they cannot. It is prohibited. So, and we've got strategic planning. We've been talking about this for a couple months now. Our current strategic plan is coming to a close, and I'll have a report on that at a later time. But now we are working on our current plan to start hopefully July 1, and we have collected patron surveys. We had about 450 of those that were really helpful in starting to guide us in a direction of improvements and changes for the library. And then we also did a staff survey, so we got input from as many staff people as we could to get their opinion on different matters. And now we are going to be having some focus groups. So on the screen, you'll see we're having focus group just for teens this Saturday at 11. Next Monday for any community members that are age 50 or older at 2. That evening for parents of school-age children at 6. And on Tuesday of next week for adults ages 19 to 49 at 6 o'clock. And then there was one more that just got scheduled today that didn't make it onto the slide. And that is for community partners. That is going to have 2 different dates. It'll be next Wednesday and next Thursday from 4:30 to 6. They last usually 60 to 90 minutes. We have prepared questions. We highly try to get everybody to participate and to be very candid. So it's facilitated. We'll have some snacks there. So if you were invited, you don't need to be. You can just show up. But some people have been specifically invited because they're avid users of the library. And you may have also seen in the news in the last few days that we are having our public open house for the conceptual design of our new library reading garden. On the screen is part of that design, and you'll be able to see it more up close and personal with our architects on site next Tuesday from 5 to 7. We're going to meet at the back of the Mountain View room, which overlooks the garden spot. This garden is slated to be 5,000 square feet with areas for programming, gardening, learning areas, and so forth. So we're really eager to get everyone's opinions and input into this. And we're not into the detailed nitty-gritty part of it yet. This is just really conceptual kind of master planning for the beginning stages. After this, we'll have many more meetings with our architects, and they'll be drawing up some construction documents, and hopefully we'll get this rolling into construction, hopefully in 2026 if we're lucky. So I hope everybody can attend that next Tuesday, and if you can't, we are working on getting a online survey out for people to, so they can see the design online, and they can also provide input through a survey. And we'll also have the boards up in the back of the Mountain View room, probably all through next week until we're closed next weekend, and maybe the first couple days of the following week, so people can just, it's nice to be able to look at the space and look at the plan at the same time to get a feel for the area. And we, definitely want to have a beautiful garden that's going to have those inspirational views of the superstitions. And I believe that's the end of the librarian's report. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. And now we'll go to old business. Is there any old business?
There is not tonight.
Okay. New business. The library board shall consider business not previously agendized and discussed at regularly scheduled library board meetings. No member of the public may speak on these items unless invited by the library board to do so. And it's number 1 is setting of date and time in June for the special board meeting to discuss and approve the 2024-2025 Library Board of Trustees Annual Report.
Yeah, so this is the time of the year where we set that special meeting that doesn't necessarily have to fall on the second Thursday, as most of our meetings do, but not to say that it can't. Since we've, in the past, the library always had a special meeting as late in June as possible because we were trying to include statistics from the month of June in that annual report. And a few years ago, if you weren't on the board, you wouldn't know, but I'm telling you now that we changed it so that now the stats go to the end of May, and the new year starts with June. So that way we're not scrambling to try to get data and the report done, because it's a lot for Sansi to put it all together, to be honest. And we want to be as accurate as possible. So I will let you guys discuss what your feelings are for a June date to see the annual report.
Any suggestions?
My June's really wide open, so.
Mine too.
Do you folks have any preference?
Do we just want to keep it on the same?
Same
second
Thursday.
If you want to keep it on the same, that's fine. Yeah, we were having a discussion earlier today of even if we have to be setting these special meetings anymore because of the fact that
Does
we're
that
now.
Does that give you enough time to pull it all together?
12th?
I'll make it enough.
We're pretty good now that we use the same format, the artistic graphic format that we've been using the last couple of years, which does make it easier. A lot of it's statistics, and then, but of course, there is some narrative portions, but how do you
So
feel?
I would
I think
move
that's
that
fine.
we
I
set
think we'll be good.
June 12th at 6:30 for
Yeah.
a special meeting.
Do they need to vote on this?
Yep.
Okay.
And roll call Sansi. Or I guess I need a second on
I'll
that.
second.
Okay.
Roll call Sansi.
Okay, Robin Barker is not here. Cheryl Bigelow is absent. Judy Bory,
Yes.
Barbara Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Catherine Meek,
Yes,
Nola Perkins,
Yes.
and Vera Walters is absent. Motion passes.
they get no choice.
Yeah, they don't. That's what happens when you miss a meeting. Yeah. Thank you for being so agreeable and easy to work with. And I'll let you keep going, Judy.
Okay, and so now, requests for future agenda items. Anybody have anything to add, or maybe once after the, the open house on the garden, maybe a little update on that if we can? Okay, is there anything else, or?
I don't think so.
I think you do a
No.
great job of presenting appropriate information. There's almost never have any additional questions.
Thank you.
I guess I should say, since I'm going to be going for an open house for a new school in Myanmar, someone had mentioned that maybe the library had some books I could present at their grand opening for a preschool and kindergartners. And so I was going to go and check and get up to speed on how to join the meetings, FaceTime or something. And so
Yeah, we can talk about that, and we'll get you set up, Nola, with both of those.
I'm leaving at 4 o'clock Monday morning.
Oh, well, okay. Like, I can speak to you after tonight's meeting is adjourned.
Okay,
Safe travels.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will miss you here at the meetings, but we'll hope to hear from you.
Hope to be able to do it.
Yes.
I want to hold up my end of the bargain.
So if there is no further business, I'd like to adjourn the meeting, and it is at, looks like 6:57.
Thank you.